Alright, it is time to continue. I got my coffee, which is kind of trash coffee. You know what? I should have a coffee fund for the stream. Not so I buy like pre-made coffee, but like so I buy better ground coffee. Maybe I'm letting it to brew too long. I'm leaving it in um, coffee in the boiling water for 15 minutes, and it does have some flavor, but it's not as good as other coffee that I've had before. Mm. It's not certain. It's certainly not as good as the espresso-based coffee that I have at the coffee shop. But I mean, it's only like $2, but it's still expensive considering that a bag of grounds is like $10, and I can make more than 5 coffees with that. But anyway, back to this hellish game. We have Shoals and Spider. We have Shoals and Spider. I have a port, I should learn that. Important thing to learn. I have Arc Jolt, I should learn that. Uh, Alright. Alright, let's go into the horrors of the mid game. Before I do, actually, let's drink some of this. Berserkitis. Ooh, and Subdued Magic. Ooh. You feel like your luck has run out, that's fine. Teleportitis. Do I want to? No, I don't. Yeah, why am I even considering it? You spend mana to strengthen your wands, and spells you cast cost one less mana. That is so huge. That is massive. Yeah, we needed that. That's a big deal. Um, to the point that I think I probably put on the ring of armor class instead of the ring of mana. Oh man, that's huge. That's huge. Okay, so I have fire, cold, and resistance to electricity. The elemental resistances are from the scarf. And the other one is because Black Draconian, very convenient. And I have all the willpower that I need to win the game. Um, the lack of poison resistance is the thing that concerns me the most right now. And I don't know where I could get it from. But anyway, we are going to search for an amulet, which, yeah, we don't have mana regen. Um, Shoals, let's see how that goes. Oh man, this airstrike with that costs 3 mana is so sick. It is so good. Yeah. Oh man, this is massive. What a good mutation. Probably the best mutation that I could have gotten. Yeah, look at that. I can cast 4 airstrikes and not kill a monster, but I'm not left without mana. It feels good. We don't need that. I'm not afraid of Louise. Oh, Arc Jolt. You don't aim it, I guess. Okay, I see. Don't I have Mystic Blast? I should have. If I think I at some point got Mystic Blast offered, and I could have learned it, and it would be useful right now, and I didn't learn it because I forgot. That's a shame. You have Reflection, don't you? Yeah, I'm never going to. I'm never going to Kirare, so it's best to not even try. You're not gonna vanish me. Yeah, 2%. You're not going to do that. If you do that, I have the right to be annoyed at the game. Alright, pretty easy. I did take a bunch of damage, which made things unnecessarily tense. But difficult, not really. I also used all my charges of the breath weapon. Couldn't resist the temptation. But now I have Arc Jolt, so I don't have to do that anymore. Alright. I was once again unnecessarily tense. I have no idea why this guy hits so hard. I guess it was only a freezing polearm. It could have been much worse. Yeah. You know those enemies that are immune to damage at range? Like, I don't like that. That feels like a direct counter to mage builds that don't want to get defenses. Um, the good thing is that, as I always say, you don't have to play. You don't have to play whatever is the newest version. 7% sleep got sleeped on Auto Explore, by the way. Delightful. Yeah, I don't think I win this. Um, Fear is not gonna work. Oh. I don't think I'm dead, but I do think that's supremely unlucky. Got put to sleep, got hit for 48, and then got hit for 27. That's across 2 turns. And now, like, I'm not surviving that. ISO C is invisible, I'm pretty sure. Does Potion of 3 give poison resistance? Am I crazy? This says capital L. I'm pressing capital L. And it's giving me capital L a +4 ring of sling. What? What is going on? How's hell? It's rough. Um, yeah, why is it the same thing? What? Is this jank? Did they increase inventory space? So that whatever you have on? No, because what is going on? Is inventory space unlimited now? Infinite? Infinite inventory space? It's kind of looking like it. But how do I... Look, that's annoying. Is resistant to poison. Okay. Okay, I think the poison resistance is gonna be important for dealing with Isul. I do wish I was not about to die, but there's not much that I can do about it. What's this Merfolk wielding? Trident of protection. Maybe some things don't fall into the limit anymore. Yeah, I still find it pretty strange and janky because I'm pressing the key of an item and it's not giving me the item description or the item menu. I think I drank a potion of mana by accident. There we go. Ah, so jank. Yeah, but I figured that it was the correct thing to do to go for the sequence of decisions that I did. Apart from spending the potion that I didn't need to spend. What did I drink? Yeah, I drank a potion of mana by accident. Here I needed to drink a potion of healing to get rid of the poison. Had stealth, manuals of earth magic and spellcasting. Those seem pretty good to me. Yeah, I don't think I care about the hat stealth, but the manuals seem really good. Oh, what are the books? Monarch Bomb. Silence. Could be interesting. Yeah, I think I want the manuals, but do I want the manuals immediately? I'm leaning towards no. And the first one that I would get would be the manual spellcasting for the mana. Um, we're gonna get 12 staves, we're gonna get like 8 team fighting, and then we come back and buy the manuals. Because there's no reason to buy them if I'm not gonna use them immediately, right? And immediately I would rather have more HP than I would rather than I would like to have more mana, especially keeping in mind that okay, 2 distortion merfolks. Let's see if I can snipe them with LRD. The answer is no. Um, yeah, right now I don't need the mana that much, given that I have that wonderful mutation that makes my magic cost 1 less mana. That's so huge. It's such a big deal. It's such a big deal. Like, it's good right now because it's making me able to postpone the training of spellcasting for a bit, and it will be good later down the line because it makes my mana be worth more. The more mana I have, the more spells I can cast, except that it's even more so thanks to that mutation. I hope I can hold on to that one for the entirety of the game. Now, how are we going to deal with this situation? I should read identify on that scroll. Yeah, I don't. These two have banishment or have distortion weapons. It's really nasty. And if I want to arc jolt them, they will be within melee range, so I can get banished in return. It's quite annoying. Okay. I think that was the correct thing to do. So why exactly did that not kill? 2 dice of 8 to 24. Is it 24 when it's surrounded by empty space? Is that how it works? It does more damage surrounded by empty space. I think it is 2 dice of 24 on empty space. It's pretty good damage for a smite targeted spell. You're slow, right? Yeah. I feel like I should be able to kill that alligator snapping turtle. The thing that makes me hesitate is mm, how to put it, the lack of poison magic. I don't have poisonous vapors. If I had poisonous vapors, it would be nice. Or however it's called now. Mm, okay, I don't think that's gonna work. I give up. um, Stun arrow. Oops. Oops. It's almost dead. Hmm. How annoying. How annoying was that? Those things have so much HP and so much armor class. Um, to find one in Shoals 1, my first layer branch, it's pretty inconvenient. What's my button for Magna Bolt? All right. Good stuff. All of that was really sketchy. But we emerged victorious, and so we get to go into the next level. Airstrike doesn't make a lot of noise. Or rather, it's not that Airstrike doesn't make a lot of noise, it's that, yeah, noise a bit loud, but Shoals is very loud, so the passive noise of Shoals um, makes it so that things that would be noisy in other parts of the dungeon are not that noisy here. That's how it works. Plasma Beam. Nah. For some reason, the game really wants me to go into fire. Like I've been getting so much fire stuff, but the thing is that I started getting fire stuff after I committed to the Earth path. Yeah, now I am on Magna Vault. Which, by the way, great spell. What costs 3 mana to strengthen the ones? Somewhat more powerful. What do you mean by that? What by somewhat more? For 3 mana, it should be substantially more powerful. All right. I'm thinking that I got Arc Jolt and I'm using Arc Jolt and Airstrike instead of using Magna Bolt. Maybe I should be using Magna Bolt in some of these situations. Um, and leaving Arc Jolt for when there's large groups of enemies together. It's nice to have flight bundled in with being a Draconian. I think it's specifically because I am a Black Draconian that I get flight zombie hands, but we don't need zombie hands. Yeah, zombie hands is great if you're going for spells that check a lot of accuracy, but the things that I have, Arcjolt doesn't check accuracy, Magnavolt doesn't check accuracy, and makes other things not check accuracy, so it already is fulfilling the same role as zombie hands. Stun Arrow checks accuracy, but that was an early game spell. It's been mostly replaced by Airstrike at this point, which does less damage but has more range. A Stun Arrow with the -1 mana cost is probably super neat, actually. It's probably super neat. I'm loving that mutation. Man, this game is gonna be a great game. If I don't die soon, that is, of course. Mm. Alright, shows 2, pretty easy. Coffee time. Mm. It turns out to be that this game is substantially more palatable when you're caffeinated when you're playing it. Yeah, that's the missing piece of the puzzle that I was lacking all these years. Trying to play Crawl at night without coffee when the right thing to do is to play coffee or like to play Crawl at the morning with coffee. Mm, I don't like how this is looking. Yeah, that very much looked like something I was not gonna win. A Warp Torp, Randar Torp. Hopefully it is an orb of attunement, so I get more of an enhancer and more melee. Hopefully, if it's an orb of attunement with poison resistance, that would be peak. That would be amazing. Um, I would like to have that a lot, in fact. Okay, Death Yak. So Polyphemus is very nearby, very close, because Death Yaks only spawn here as part of Polyphemus band. Mm, I wish I had a spell that hit the whole screen. I don't have anything like that. As in it hits every enemy in the screen. You know, and also Kubu's refrigeration. Um, Not that I would get that anyway, because not training in ice magic. Um, no fridge. Um, this is so awkward. All the stairs are bad. How is this looking? Cosphere 27. It dodged the boulder! What? It dodged the boulder again! What's going on? Alright. Yeah. Now that I have min delay on the staff, and good evocations, a skill, the staff is actually dealing a lot of damage with the effect. Yeah, the Death Yak is electrocuted. You draw in some of the released energy. Not bad, not bad. Um, I want to see what that Brandar Torb is. Who is so consistently? Oh yeah, because that caps at 33%. I have no idea why enemies have such a powerful hex. Imagine the player should get that actually. Yes, the players should get that. Um, so that hex builds are not trash, you know, and you can actually do the thing that you're supposed to do with your spell skill and training. Um, keep pressing the wrong key. What I want is Magna Bolt. And there's Polyphemus. What pets? Polyphemus, what pets? Now the question is, will Polyphemus wreck me if I don't immediately go upstairs? I have bad armor class and bad evasion, so chances are really good I'm gonna get pummeled by rocks every time. It's 64. On bad rolls, I get hit twice in a row and die. Um, yeah, I would rather just go back up, go back to full, go down again. You know, let's not go down those stairs, and I am aware that I excluded all of them. So let's try this one again. This should be fine. For a second, I really thought there was a shot for that guy to kill me. You know, silver jabs and Merfolk Javelineers are crazy strong. Crazy strong, crazy threatening. Sphinx Marauder. Polyphemus again. Okay, ready for round one, Polyphemus? Am I ready for what round one is the question. What pets? Copying the Catoblepas was really good. Beautiful. I wonder if I win this by Cirking. Cirking against a Catoblepas is probably not great, given that I will have to constantly sidestep the Petrification Cloud. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, I think we're at the point where we can definitely drop the daggers, but that's something for later. Or Mayhem with 4 strength, we can leave that on the floor. Underwhelming. Book of Metal working. I have no idea what that is. I like the idea of parchments. Because it gives early game availability of spells, which the game didn't really have that before. All right. All right. Sphinx Marauder, and it is an extremely dangerous monster. Woof! Bounce 13 opener, damage max 47. It is fast. It briefly wreaks havoc with both the violent turbulence of high winds and the frustration of bewildering magics. It has Confuse and Vex. Well, we don't have to worry about those, but the damage output is kind of crazy. I would like to believe that I beat the Sphinx with Earth Strike, and I do. Acquirement. That would be acquirement number 3. I think I read uh, acquirement number 1 and I got money, and acquirement number 2 got me this willpower ring. Yeah, you acquired it on level 13 of the dungeon. Really neat. All right. Pretty disappointing acquirement. This is an instant money grab because, yeah, what else is there to get there? a ring that's inferior to the ring that I have, or like a bunch of items that are just worse than what I have right now. You know what I should be doing here? Magna Bolt. This is like a totally a Magna Bolt position. Beautiful. What a spell. It is an absolute killer against monsters that take up multiple tiles. Not unlike Fireball. Crows should have more monsters that take up multiple tiles. That's something that I like about Rift Wizard 2. Uh, I do think that the Rift Wizard 2 monsters should have more HP, the multi-tile monsters, because it turns out that things like what is this guy called? Kronos, with his 1200 HP and a singular tile are harder to kill than things that have like 9000 HP but take up 9 tiles. So with a lot of spells you deal literally 9 times more damage. Mm. In fact, when 3x3 monsters were introduced in Rift Wizard, I thought that Kronos would be one of them, given his prodigious HP. Um, Kronos is the thing with most HP in that game. Um, among the singular tile monsters, of course. Mm, How do we do this? How do we do this? How do we do this? With 10 mana, I should probably not even try. Yeah, that's the answer here. With 10 mana, it's a bad idea. Okay, that was my main concern. I blink away and I gain the tile on the alligator snapping turtle, but I figured that that I was fine, and the alligator turtle moved and attacked me in the same turn because it swam really fast, and then it hit me, um, which is completely horrifying for obvious reasons. Mm. And so we get into a classic crawl moment where the correct thing might be to just attack the turtle, like stun arrow the turtle. Maybe that kills it. Maybe, for all I know, it has 1 HP, right? Um, but then again, maybe the turtle has like 3 HP and I don't roll high enough on stun arrow to kill it. And on the other hand, the turtle does get to attack me and kill me this turn, which is perfectly capable of doing it. Um, But on the other hand, I think I have found 1 blinking. No, 2 blinking. Okay, I think we are gonna just unfortunately have to spare 1 just to play it safe. Yeah. Alright, I like being able to tap stuff. Wow, I took so much damage. I don't think I want to go down those stairs anymore. Just because I took that much damage. It is dangerous. What would this be? A phantom mirror? So my phantom mirror will become a phantom mirror +1, right? I like that. Why do I have a port on the quiver? That's pretty strange. Okay. Good stuff. I think this might be the room bolt, or we might be close to it, because there were a lot of high-level merfolk in here. I have all the charges of my breath weapon, but we are at the point in the game where that becomes less relevant because of my ability in spellcasting. Yeah, like I have better things to do with my turns um, than use the breath weapon. Now that I have Arc Jolt, I have effectively the same effect of my breath weapon, but not on like a charge based cooldown timer or whatever you want to call it. What I mean is I can spam my breath weapon, except that Arcjolt deals 1 dice of 55, very inconsistent damage, um, but it but it is spammable, as I already said, and the breath weapon does 3 dice of 17. The breath weapon can deal more damage, and it does less damage on average. And it has more range too. Hello, Jungolia. Thank you for stopping by. Here we are playing some Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. Let me tell you that this coffee and crawl thing is working fine. Man, it used to be that after like half an hour of crawl, I was so done. Um, but the coffee is helping a lot. I don't know if it's too because I have a decent-ish character. That might also have something to do with it. Yeah, this was a random character. I didn't choose Draconian Reaver. It wasn't me because I wouldn't have picked a Draconian because I'm not fond of Draconians because they don't get armor. At least it wasn't a cat. That at least I can say. At least it wasn't a cat. So many satyrs. What's up with that? And feeble. Toxic Radiance finally. It only took about 2 days to find Toxic Radiance. I think it's too late for that. I don't think I'm using it. Wow, I'm getting wrecked by this thing. Okay, but two can play the airstrike game. Oh, no wonder the stairs were so difficult. There were 2 steps away from the rune. Really rough. My fighting's looking fine. I think before I leave this place, I'm gonna buy that book of spellcasting, Freezing Cloud. I don't think I care. It's not a spell for me this run. We don't need that. What is a garden patch? A small decorative plot of flowers penned in by cobblestone with a pretty tile. In console, it looks like a dried up fountain. Um, okay, given that I acquired money, I could just buy the manual of Earth Magic as well and never come back here. I'll do that. And if I regret doing that, I'm gonna be so sad. Oh yeah, the Bane. The Bane of the Reapers. Um, all who enter will suffer the bane of mortality. When you're injured and alone, a Reaper may come to claim you. These Reapers will be immune to all damage from non-adjacent sources, and if your experience level is less than 14, they will additionally be slow. And higher experience level, multiple Reapers may appear at once. Something makes me guess that we are already at a point where multiple Reapers may appear at once. Um, but I have blinking, so I can just blink away from them. Once upon a time, an enterprising thief and wizard created a system of portals leading into the secret treasure troves and chambers of the rich. Too scared to loot them himself, he instead charged an extortionate fee for entry to anyone who wanted to rifle through them. The items inside such troves are likely to be useful, but beware, the wizard is long dead, and even while alive, he never offered the money back guarantee. It's a nice little bit of flavor. I don't know if I should. The Reapers sound a little bit spooky. Hmm. Oh yeah, I feel like I would die if I grab that. Maybe after Bolts we grab that, because Bolts is the part of the game where I'm most likely to be caught in a bad fight, escape at low HP, and then have a Reaper telefrag me, right? So we are not doing that right now. Spider. We did just get Toxic Radiance. High risk, not necessarily high reward. Yeah. Um, I don't want to be affected by the Bane of Mortality until I know I'll be able to handle multiple Reapers spawning on me when I'm at low HP. Um, so perhaps until a little bit later. Yeah. So we have Spider, as I already said, or Bolts are my options. I guess I could also do Elf. We have fire resistance, cold resistance, resistance to electricity, and willpower. I think we can do Elf. The danger in Elf is actually the high level spellcasters and melee elves, as is often the case. Um, like Master Archers, Blade Masters, Sorcerers, Annihilators. are the main concern. Demonologists do, but not because of banishment, but because of what they could summon. Um, I would like to believe I'm going to be fine. Um, I would like to believe. Yeah, let's do elf. I could also kill Gastronok. Now I can kill Gastronok, I'm pretty sure. Oh, this thing is like, yeah, almost immune to electricity. So, oh, it is straight up immune to electricity. I'm never killing it with tab. That is annoying. Okay, that is quite annoying. I think I'm just gonna put stun arrow on the quiver. I was thinking, oh, Arcjolt got a range increase, but it didn't. What's going on is that I'm a worshipper of Behemoth, because stun arrow also has good range. All right. Mm, okay, nothing there matters. Bookshop, and it offers single spells for cheap. You know what? That's fine. That's actually really cool because sometimes you don't want the whole spell book. You buy the whole spell book for a single spell. Um, Being able to buy a single spell is neat. It does remove the flavor of the books, but I don't really care that much. Um, when it comes to the discussion between flavor and gameplay, I will be on the side of gameplay every time. Let me check this guy. 2% banishment. Yeah, we're fine. Nothing to worry about. When it comes to the high level helps for now. Why exactly am I dying? It's a lot of elves that appeared out of nowhere. Um, are they resistant to electricity? I think they might be. Oh, they're not. In that case, why are they not dead? That's so strange. That is pretty unusual. I should read identify. We finally found immolation. Okay, team fighting. Time for spellcasting. Finally, a potion of enlightenment. Long after I fought Erolcha with no willpower, mind you. Oh, this looks like a prime Magnavolt position. Unfortunately, the dancing weapons are completely immune to electricity, so they are never going to be killed by my awesome electricity magic. Yeah, we have what it takes to handle this place. This shouldn't be of any concerns. Of any concern. Um, as long as I don't mess up, of course. I just have to be careful and play properly, and we should be able to loot the wonderful rewards from this place. The 2 mana cost stone arrows are something else. They're really good. I thought those vortex-like enemies were like immune to electricity, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Wow, okay, that's never gonna work. Um, should I get? I should maybe get a good staff, but the thing is that I'm wielding an orb, so I cannot use any staff that is not a staff. So no Laja tank, no quarter staff for me. Um, and by extension, I cannot swap my weapon to deal with this kind of situation. That's so annoying. That is quite annoying indeed. I don't even think I can get back mana from tabbing this enemy. Oh, I can. You draw in some of the release energy. It really is a shame that I cannot tab this enemy. I don't have a clean answer to this thing. I just have to stun around hope that it works. Weapon inlaid floor? What do you mean by that? Like, that's the entrance to the Hollow Blades. The decorative elvish inlayings of weapons mark here the Hollow Blades, where many of the dungeon's keenest weapons originate, magically animated to demonstrate their own lethality on would-be thieves. And I suspect it has a cool tile. Okay, I think it does have a cool tile, but I can barely see it in my tiles window capture. Another ring of protection. Um, my no, I cannot use it. I straight up cannot use it. If I put it on, I'm gonna get banished instantly, which is a shame because Draconians don't get body armor. Um, to compensate for that, Draconians get up to 15 armor class through leveling up. Um, as you can see, I have 9 right now. I'm 10 levels away from level 27. And chances are good I'm not going to get to level 27 unless something changed with experience in the late game. Um, I got a miscast of Magnavolt. What is this? The early game? Oh, here I am spamming Magnavolt in front of an enemy that is immune to it. I wish it had some component of physical damage. Let me read it again. Thin layer of magnetically charged metal fragments then unleashes a powerful surge of electricity that acts unerringly towards every visible target. Firing an additional beam at each target thus marked. Magnetized creatures are additionally unable to evade attacks and will be revealed if invisible. If they die while still coated, they will leave behind a short-lived cloud of electrified metal that will continue to serve as the lightning rod for this spell. Yep. No physical damage component. I don't know why it has accuracy. Magnetized creatures are unable to evade attacks. I mean, the beam is dodgeable, I suppose, but more often than not, the beam will be shot at things that cannot dodge. Hmm. It effectively is a spell that ignores evasion. I sure don't like being at 62 HP in front of a death mage. I sure don't like it. Yep. Being at 163 HP in front of a death mage is, however, fine. Mercury Arrow. Mercury Arrow is a level 2 Conjuration Alchemy. Arrow of Elemental Mercury, which deals direct poison damage to whatever it hits and may also weaken their melee attacks for a short while. Physical force of the arrow inflicts a small amount of damage even to those immune to poison, and the weakening effect can splash to adjacent targets and ignores poison resistance altogether. 2 dice of 10, max 2 dice of 11. Very accurate. It has decent range as well. It looks fine. It looks like it does okay damage. Um, I would like to know how much of the damage is physical and how much of the damage, like what percentage is physical and what percentage is poison damage. Seems like an important piece of information to know, given that there is a large amount of monsters that are immune to poison. I hope my Elf 3 bolt is made out of crystal. Okay, finally I became the champion of Behemoth. Reached 6 pips of piety under Behemoth in turn 47,000. When Crawl is nice, it's a very enjoyable game. The thing is that Crawl is not nice every time. That is my main problem with it. Now, I don't know if this is the vault or if I just ran into a particularly nasty grouping of elves. How is how are these guys not dead? Were they all summoned by this one deep elf pyromancer, who is right at the no? Why are they not dead? That's so strange. So strange indeed. No, really, why are they all not dead? Man, how did you survive all the things that I've been shooting? So annoying. This heavy dart flail is ruining everything. Um, why do dancing weapons have to be completely immune to electricity? Yep, I ignored it for way too long. Um, should have blinked here and closed the door. Ranged weapon? No. Haste? No. And no range for any of the spells that this enemy has. Mm. My main concern is that the heavy dart flail is really fast and hits really hard. It hits really hard and it's so fast, and it also is immune to electricity, which is my main way of dealing damage to a large amount of enemies. Okay, so there is a guy with a ranged attack. That is not good. That's fine. If I close the door, the knight is gonna immediately open it. I don't know. Like it depends on which order the enemy sacked. Um, if the knight opens the door and then the heavy dartflail walks forward, then I'm in a really bad spot. Whoa! Is it not opening the door? Is it going around? No. Is it going around the corner? No way. Okay, that's huge. Okay, how do I get out of here? If my theory is correct, the elf should be somewhere around here, probably farther away from me than closer to me. Yes, it was going around the corner. Okay, I would like to believe we're fine. That hurts. Now, here's the thing. I really don't want to stick around and fight. I really don't want to do that. But I am concerned that if I keep walking away, 5 range on the throw icicle, 3 dice of 20. If I walk away and it continues shooting throw icicle, which is the strongest thing that it can do from afar. Like I'm outside of its range for force lance. And force lance would be nice because it would push me away from the range of throw icicle. If I keep walking away, I think I got this. Because it can throw icicle me once, but it cannot do it twice. Yes, okay, we're fine. We're fine. We are fine. It was not a problem. Alright, now I'm back to take revenge. Ooh, a scroll blinking. That's a nice thing to have found, considering that I was at 0. Game has given me 3 in the entirety of this run, 3 blinkings. Sometimes you get those runs with like 20 blinkings by this point. Sometimes you get the runs with 3. Well, at least I got 3. It is certainly better than having one of those runs with 0 blinking. How is this guy not super hurt? You're wearing a robe. That has to be. What do you mean? What is going on? Oh, I'm Baisushen on top of that. Well, things are concerning now. At least this Blade Master that is running at me is seriously hurt from all the LRD on Crystal that I was doing. But I don't like this one bit. This is looking like a really bad position. I could try to retreat to this choke point, but the thing about that is that I'm seeing a lot of enemies, and I might want to. I might want to. What is this thing called? Condenser Vein. I might want to Condenser Vein them. It would occupy a lot of the tiles that I can see right now because the enemies are positioned in almost a perfect way to occupy almost all of the tiles. I grossly underestimated the use or like the ease with which I was going to be able to do this. I overestimated it, and I underestimated how dangerous the enemies that are immune to electricity would be. Because the thing is that I'm fighting a mob of enemies, right? And so I am doing my AoE things, but it turns out that my AoE things do not damage the things that are immune to electricity. So while I'm fighting everything else and I'm killing everything else, the electricity immune enemies are just stealthily standing next to me and whacking me around. And that has already put me in a bad spot multiple times. I used my only haste earlier, so we don't have haste. I think I do retreat to the choke point. And if I'm going to Condenser Bane, I should Condenser Bane in a spot that I will most likely not want to move away from. Like this one. This looks like a great spot to Condenser Bane on. Uh-huh. And now, unfortunately, one of these Blade Masters is completely unhurt. That is definitely not something that I like. Arc Jolt seems... No, wait, not Arc Jolt, Magnavolt. This is a position for Magnavolt. How's this guy looking? Really hurts. And yeah, once again, stealthily, enemy that is immune to electricity is standing next to me and dealing damage. Really, really nasty. On the bright side, the elves are really, really messed up. Baisu Shen isn't. Baisu Shen is immune to electricity, of course. How much HP do you have? 200, around 205. I'm not liking this one bit. Are you hurt because of poison? No, I guess not. The clouds of the condenser vein are random now. That's what it is. You walk through some clouds that dealt damage, I suppose, and that's why you're hurt. Okay, yeah, we have a problem with this heavy Darflail. This is a problem. Because of what I said a couple of minutes ago. Stealthily enemy that is immune to electricity sits still in front of me and whacks me. Well, not sits still, sits in front of me and whacks me while I try to kill everything else that is not immune to electricity. Baisushan is the ultimate version of that, mind you. Because unlike the Darflail or Dancing Weapons, which have really low HP, but really great defenses and resistances to compensate for its low HP, Baisushen has really great HP and the resistances are not that great in Baisu Shen, but the HP is. So regardless of how good my elemental damage output is, it would still take a while to kill Baisu Shen, and she is immune to my best thing. She is immune to my best thing. It's not good at all. So we read Fogu. I should take advantage of the fact that I have good HP. Well, I had good HP. Okay. No! That was a garbage blink. My survival condition was to get a good blink here through Fog Blink AoE manipulation. Um, because I always explain this, but blink can only put you on a tile that you can see. So if you manipulate your line of sight in such a way that the amount of tiles that you can see that you wouldn't like to land on are minimal compared to the amount of tiles that you can see that you would like to land on, the chances are better that you're gonna land on a good tile. Very, very much better, mind you. Let's think about for a second what I was. I was here, um, and I couldn't see. I could see these tiles, but I could also see all these open tiles over here. I couldn't see them all, but I could see a bunch of them. So the chances of landing where I landed were minuscule. They were tiny. Easy come, easy go, I suppose. If I sit here and I start taking hits from a heavy dart flail, I'm gonna die. Um, that dart flail should die to one or two airstrikes at least. I would like to believe it's gonna die from one or two airstrikes. Uh, no stairs that I would be retreating towards. Next time, well, on round two of this fight, I'm gonna make a hole so I can easily get to the stairs, just in case something fast is chasing after me, like in this case. Yeah, there we go. One or two airstrikes. Close the door, blink away. Close the door, blink away. And we're fine. But this incursion into Elf has been costly. Where's my wand of digging? We're fine, we can deal with that. Yep. Well, we gotta be careful because I'm playing this pretty carelessly. Um, I've been put in positions that I should that like have punished me. It's not positions that should have killed me, and I only got out alive because I got lucky. No, it's positions that demanded a scroll blinking from me. And well, now I don't have scrolls of blinking anymore. I entered here with two, and I found another one, and I used all three here. Still better than Spider, mind you. Still better than Spider. I have no idea how I'm killing Visushin. That's actually my greatest problem here. How am I supposed to deal with Visushin? Are you poison resistant? Yes, you are, because of course. Why couldn't I be poison resistant? By virtue of being a Draconian, I could really use that for the endgame. Um, yep. Yep, it certainly is a problem that the best thing I can do does nothing to the most powerful singular enemy here, most resilient and dangerous singular enemy here. What a counter. I was not suspecting. I was not suspecting the game to throw something like this at me. I was like, I'm fine. But nope. Monsters that are immune to electricity are a problem, and monsters that, on top of that, are difficult to kill are a big problem. Orbs of Fire. How am I going to deal with Orbs of Fire later on? We're gonna have to think about that. Um, maybe I should. Maybe I should devote some of that experience towards Earth Magic and get Crystal Spear. There's a shop that has Crystal Spear, and Crystal Spear plus Magnabolt. It's so pricey, but it is a surefire way to deal with these kind of enemies. Um, I don't have Bombard, I suppose. Nope, I have Monarch Bomb. Um, not Bombard. Oof. Am I going to get gate kept from the delicious loot? It's definitely looking like it. At least what I'm feeling is that I shouldn't be doing that until much later. Um, I have high air magic. I can just keep wandering around, gaining experience. Um, I'm going to get MCC at some point. At some point, hopefully soon. And then MCC is the answer for, at the very least, Baisushen. And you may think, oh, it's ridiculous to get such a high level spell for one enemy. But no, because I already have a good amount of skill on air magic and spellcasting and Behemoth, so it's not gonna take me a lot of experience to cast that. Let's go to Spider. I used all my blinking, and I didn't even clear the thing. Does this hit? I don't know if Arc Jolt is going to hit these guys. Probably not, because fire blocked by an iron grate. But you know what isn't blocked by an iron grate? That. Alright, doing Spider without poison resistance on a timer too because of that. Oh, and immediately got confused. Rough. Rough indeed. Okay, no chain confusion, fortunately. This is terrifying. Like, I'm 1 or 2 turns away from that. Dealing with these enemies without the resistance sucks. Without the resistance and without good defenses, because I have draconian defenses at the end of the day. They have bad dodging and no armor. Um, -1 isn't even that bad, but for dodging you really need to be pumping dexterity, and that is something that I'm not doing and I don't want to do. Um, all right. Yeah, the entrance to Spider is always really rough. If I had come here instead of going Shoals as my first rune, that would have killed me. I can tell you with no doubt in my mind, no hesitation, that would have killed me. It would have been really, really nasty. Um, because when I went Shoals, I had like 130 HP. Now I have so much more. Blink away. It's an unfortunate blink. I totally didn't want to blink there. And yep, my HP got evaporated. I have no idea how I am as hurt as I am, but I am hurt. Yep, I was at 172, and then I started getting hit by stuff, and now I am at 113. It was a demonic crawler, right? Yeah. Why didn't I heal to full? Hmm. Beautiful. Got some really good rolls on that airstrike when I needed them. Um, okay, we have so much magic mapping. That's fine. Oof. And we needed the magic mapping because there's no way I was gonna reach that by manually exploring. Um, we're gonna have to go through most of the level. Nah, about half of the level, but we're gonna go through some fights. If I take damage in every fight, then I'm probably not gonna make it because I don't have any source of regen. On top of that, there's a mana regen question as well. Okay, I was sure I was gonna encounter a fight here. I was sure. Oh, talking about a fight. Okay. I sure love walking around the corner and being immediately as surrounded as I could be. Well, mostly because there's a tile that, like, of course I'm gonna use. Is this thing resistant to electricity? Okay, it's not. That means I can deal with it. Time for good old Magna Bolt. That's 17 spell casting. And yeah, my plan is going to be both Crystal Spear and MCC. I would like to believe that both of them are gonna be easy for me to acquire. Like MCC, I just have to find it, and Crystal Spear, I have found it. I just need the Earth Magic, and I guess the Conjurations. That is going to be problematic, but Behemoth. 71% chance to fail. Damage 10 dice of 7. Max 10 dice of 22. I mean, it's still 10 dice. It's some pretty good damage. Some pretty good damage, even if you don't have a lot of spell power. Which, given that this character has only 19 intelligence despite my best efforts, yeah, I don't think my spell power is gonna go particularly high in this playthrough. Unless somehow I get a series of godly loot. And it needs to be a series of godly loot. It cannot just be one godly item. It needs to be a series of godly loot with like plus 10 intelligence and other good properties for me to have any shot at getting the kind of spell power that a deep elf will always get. Period. Okay, I have the resistance, so I'm not too concerned about getting spontaneously deleted here. Alright. Went for the initial Magna Bolt to remove the possibility of the dragon dodging any of my things. Oh man, I'm running out of coffee. Manipulate line of sight so the Frost Hearts don't do their thing. Yeah, if they're gonna do their thing, I might as well wait for them till they are positioned in such a way that I can retaliate in kind. Yeah, there we go. Little bit of line of sight manipulation never hurt anyone. In fact, it's the complete opposite. It often helps you instead of hurting you. Okay, this is looking like a Magna Bolt moment. Yep. Yep, I do so much more damage than they do to me. But it wouldn't be the case if I didn't have the resistance, mind you. With no resistance, they would be deleting me before I could delete them. That is a bunch of dudes. Dudes. We can do a little bit of immolation. Oh, wrong button. Good stuff. can just stab them. Well, not quite, mind you, because they do their breath weapon thing, and they place me on top of clouds of freezing vapor. I may have the resistance, but it's still hurting. Yeah, we're fine, but still, I cannot just stab them. They're not so weak, or rather, I'm not that strong. Um, Yep. On a character with like 10 more armor class, I think I could just stab them, but Draconian. Permafrost. Permafrost. Permafrost is... Yeah, why? I don't have ice magic. I never intended to have ice magic. Give me MCC already. Do it. Or rather, like... Okay, I have Maxwell's Thermic Engine, which is substantially rarer than MCC. So many ice dragons here. None of them have drop skills. Not that it matters, anyway. Okay, I have the spell that deals with those very easily. So many ice dragons. Imagine, if you don't have resistance, this is hell. This is straight up hell. Oh, finally, some skills. Not that it matters. But yeah, this bolt places ice dragons as common enemies. Cloak of Cold Resistance. Oh, that's an item. I'll pick it up. Bane. What do you mean, Bane? It inflicts you with a random bane when you... Wow, and on a dagger. Freezing Cloud, Fridge, and Polar Vortex, yeah, why? I mean, it's an ice cave. What were you expecting to get on an ice cave? Scarf of Resistance, already got one of those. Otherwise, I would be very happy. Alright. Let's get out of here. I think that was fine. Didn't really get a lot. But I also didn't use a lot. I got experience, which I like getting experience. I love that my stun arrow costs 2. That's such a good thing. And I loved being able to tap to heal. Because sometimes tapping to heal feels like sublimation of blood at times. Yeah, we can do this. But I would rather do it in a better spot. Beautiful. Beautiful. There we go. And here I was saying that Spider was going to be worse than Elf. The Spider entrance was really bad. The Spider entrance can be horrifying. Like you're gonna die levels of horrifying. If you go in there as your first rune branch and you get a bad Spider entrance, it's like the nastiest out of all the branches. Because you're surrounded by fast, highly evasive enemies, plentiful enemies. That do so much damage. It's the worst one out of all of them when it comes to the entrance. But the rest of it is fine, as long as you take your fights properly. Yeah. None of the other ones are like that. Like, I would rather be surrounded by normal merfolk than I would rather be surrounded by normal spiders. Needed more coffee. Oh, these things are immune to electricity. What am I doing? Yeah, I was like, oh, let's stuff. Something funny happened here. Let me walk you through exactly what happened in my mind in that lapse of seconds since when I saw the Spark Wasp and when I started having it. I was like, tap. But there is a reason not to tap. But why? Why not tap when I can tap? And so I tapped. That's what happened. And only until I started tapping did I realize, oh wait, I'm tapping a monster that's immune to electricity. That's not gonna fly. I'm glad that I have a character that's strong enough, because I wouldn't say this is like super busted. It's a strong, but it's not strong enough to just steamroll the game. It's not a character that beats the game in 4 hours. It is a character that beats the game. I would like to believe, but it's not a character that beats the game in 4 hours. Why can't I drop that? What do you mean left right to switch category? Why? They totally uncapped the. What do you mean 52 gear slots? They probably should get rid of that. I'm not fond of it. Um, Boots of Flying, I don't think we care. I very much know we don't care, given that I have flight already. Um, Also, they're not as enchanted as my current boots. Or rather, they were +0, right? And my current boots are also +0. But they're stealth, which does more than flight, which does nothing. I'm amazed at the fact that I have not gotten super poisoned by anything in a while. Okay, that ghost crab is rude. Especially since the summons are not trivial to deal with. As you can see, they all get attacks of opportunity on me and stuff. Good blink. Okay. Luckily, they don't last for very long. But the summons are really nasty. I don't know why there's a ghost crab here. Okay, I am starting to notice a pattern. Firestorm Shadow and Chain Lightning! Okay, I guess we're going for Clyde. Um, I guess we have to do it. Man, it's so expensive. Why no MCC? Why no MCC? I needed MCC. I mean, I guess. Why am I even annoyed by that? I can just go for MCC. Um, oh man, but the Conjurations training is gonna be hellish. It's gonna take so long. So many enchant weapons. No one needs that many enchant weapons. R. Am I playing in ASCII or tiles? I'm playing in terminal. Always played in terminal since I learned 15, almost 16 years ago. Yeah, but I have tiles for the convenience of the viewers. But I played in tiles once. Funnily enough, I have 100% win rate in tiles. It was one singular game, and it took me 9 hours, and it was horrible. Yes, I'm expecting with tiles to stream. I used to stream only console, but I got no viewers. Way back in the day when I started, and then I was like, okay, I'll spectate tiles because there's no way I'm playing tiles myself. Um, I'm liking this character. It's I feel like if I was not under the influence of caffeine, I wouldn't be liking this character. Like if I played this late at night instead of playing it in the morning while I am properly caffeinated, I would be having a hard time with this character. Yeah, it's a good thing. Um, the realization that I could play crawl with coffee, like I knew about it a couple of months ago. During the last tournament, I played, the last day in the morning because it ends in the not in the morning, but like in the afternoon for me, and I was like, I realized that it was a lot easier to play crawl when you drink coffee. So ever since then, I had the notion of it, but I never tried it until recently. Yeah, I think it's gonna become a staple of the stream. Um, oh no. Oh, we're fine. We're fine. We're fine. It doesn't have resistance to electricity, right? We can magna volt it. No, why? What do you mean by that? Okay, that's terrible. Conjurations. We're gonna need a lot of that. We're probably gonna need like 24. Not 14. We're gonna need like 24. Beautiful. Alright, and for our magic, we're also gonna need like 24. Probably, no, 24 is fine. But yeah, we're gonna get that conjurations for Crystal Spear, which we're gonna get long before Clyde, and then we're also gonna get Clyde, and that will be my endgame plan. Clyde and Crystal Spear. Now, it would certainly be quite nice if I could Magnavolt something that I cannot see, but unfortunately I don't think that works. Let me check once again that the ghost mods are... Yeah, they're not resistant to electricity, so I can totally tab it to death. The question is, can I, like, if I could hit it with the Magnavolt effect that removes its evasion, that would make it so much easier. Um, I insist that there should be a potion of See Invisible in this game because See Invisible is not a property you need to have all the time, but it is a property that you will notice when you don't have it. And this is one of those moments, and I'm noticing I don't have it. The question is, do I have a ring of See Invisible? Because at some point I had one, but I dropped it. Talking about dropping, I should drop that ring of resistance to corrosion. I don't need that anymore. Um, I guess I could put on a second ring of protection so I don't get slapped around by the ghost moth. Okay, that hurt so much more than it needed to, just because I don't have See Invisible. With See Invisible, that thing was dead in 2 turns. Not even joking. Now I need to retreat and heal, because I cannot take another one of those. Yeah. I should have come here sooner. No, not sooner. I think after I did my first Lure branch, I should have come here instead of going to Elf, because Elf was painful. Oh. Ooh. I don't want to have anything to do with the Ghost mod while it has any kind of support. The lack of See Invisible is really messing me up. You know, I should go... Because I have See Invisible. I have a ring of that. I should go back, pick that up, put it on, and trivialize the ghost mod. before they become a problem. I'm gonna run for the stairs, and hopefully I can get to the stairs before the ghost mod gets to me. No, there's two of them. I don't know if I want to deal with that. I'm just gonna teleport now that I have HP. If it lands me right on top of the vault, which it almost did, mind you. The vault is over here, and I landed just outside of it. As long as I don't get harassed by ghost mods, we're fine. Yeah, I can kill everything else, even with no mana, in a singular fight, in a one-on-one fight. But ghost mods are a problem. Okay, I am not gonna bother fighting the demonic crawler here. Gonna take it upstairs and we're gonna tab it, or arc jolt it, or rather magna bolt it. See invisible. Yep, they are genuinely for sure 100% not a problem, the ghost mods. But the thing is that I need to see them to be able to hit them, because if they're invisible, they're a lot harder to hit. Also, if I see them and I Magna Bolt them, then they're free, because Magna Bolt removes the ability to dodge from things for a while, for a couple of turns, so I can totally beat them if I can Magna Bolt them. And yeah, it's so convenient to have a way to kill the ghost mods with one spell cast, because sometimes that's all you can spare when you have a ghost moth in your line of sight. Let's go back to Spider. Okay, we're ready now. Yep. Did you notice the difference? It's like night and day, really. How much easier it is to deal with them when you can hit them with the Magna Bolt. Oh man, there's so many. Just let's not forget that I have no willpower, but I think we're done. Hood of the Assassin. You know what? I can put that on. Yeah, who needs that? I'd rather have a little bit of extra armor class. And of course, it also has detection and extra stabbing and big stealth. I'm not a stealth enjoyer. I don't normally train stealth, and it's not going to be any different this run, despite the fact that I have the Hood of the Assassin. I think it would be a lot funnier to find the Hood of the Assassin on a weapon that actually has base damage, because in case you are unaware, the Hood of the Assassin makes it so that it allows the wearer to make particularly effective stabbing attacks against helpless or unaware enemies with any melee weapon. What does that mean? It means that every weapon gets stabs of the same quality as you would get with a dagger, which are absolutely nuclear stabs. What stabbing does is that it grossly multiplies the damage of whatever you're like. If you were to attack an enemy normally, when you stab it, like gets multiplied like crazy. So if you get top tier stabs with a great mace or with a giant spike cloth, like yeah, things blow up into multiple different molecules. It's beautiful. But it's not the item for the character, unfortunately. We are a spellcaster. And the Staff of Air barely does any more base damage. Yeah, base damage 5. A dagger has base damage 4, so this is barely anything. And the staff effect does not multiply the special elemental effect of the staff, so it barely does anything. So it's just a +2 hat for me with stealth. and detection. Those, yeah, good properties, but nothing to write home about. Let's go to Volts. A golden eye. What's a golden eye doing here? Is it a shapeshifter? Weird. Oh, I should put on my willpower. Yeah, this is definitely a spot where willpower is worth way more than see invisible. If I walk around without willpower here, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna out explore into getting banished. Now you see a percentage for how contaminated you are. That is a nice addition to the game. A Thunderhawk, I'm not afraid. Oh, it feels so nice to not be afraid of enemies that are normally really strong and dangerous in this place. Ironbound Mechanist, Phalanx Beetle, and Nazja's all-purpose tempering. It enhances dancing weapons. How is there no unique in Elf that has that? You like, come on, there's like perfect material for Elf Artificer that has that and enhances dancing weapons. It could even be a SOT monster actually, because it sounds really strong. Elf Artificer spawns with a band of okay-ish dancing weapons and can buff them all, because they can't be too strong dancing weapons because it would be too much. All right, we're fine. I should probably go back upstairs because I haven't finished Bolts 1. Okay, we are not concerned by Frost Hearts. I mean, we still should not be taking free hits, but we're not concerned by Frost Hearts. Most things here are not scary because my damage output is really good. Let's put it like that. I still should not just be fighting recklessly. Do you have? You don't have the resistance. You're just really tanky. Yep, I am strong. I am really strong. The question is, am I strong enough to go back to Elf and reclaim my loot? Not until I can consistently kill enemies that are immune to electricity. We will get to that point. In fact, we might already be there for all I know. Crystal. Yeah, fail 22. We're almost there. We're almost there. How's my Earth Magic looking? 16? That's as high as it's going to get. Everything else that I need for Crystal Spear is gonna come out of Conjurations. And yeah, like by the time Conjurations is like 18 or so, I'm gonna be able to go back and enact my terrible revenge on the elves. Alright. I like being able to tap to gain back mana. It's a really good thing to have. I like this combination of Orb plus Enhancer Staff. It feels so strong. Feels like a way to compensate for not being a deep elf. Oh, what? Plus 2 boots of flying. Okay, I will be taking those. We don't care about the flying part, but we care about the plus 2 part. And the stealth property, well, it had its time, but 2 armor class is more tangible. So much enchant armor. At some point I should enchant everything. And I'm carrying this Cloak of Cold resistance as like a hopeful thing, but I'm probably never gonna put it on. It's unlikely that I'll get fire resistance that I could so that I could justify not having the Scarf of Resistance on. Which is a shame, because the Scarf of Resistance does not provide armor class. Armor class is kind of an important thing for a Draconian, which doesn't really get a lot of it. But I also don't get a lot of anything because no body armor. And I'm choosing to value the fire resistance a little bit more than I'm valuing the armor class. Maybe it shouldn't be that way because everything in this game checks armor class, and not everything checks fire resistance. So based on that rationale, I should be not having so much, not putting so much value on the fire resistance. But we're getting to the point in the game where the things that hit you with elemental damage hits you really hard. So yeah, Fleet Ghosts have Umbra now? Oh no, there's a Fleet Ghost and something that gives Umbra. I think it was that Death Knight. Alright. So many potions of mutation, but I have what's probably the best possible mutation for my character. Spells you cast cost 1 less mana. Yeah, I don't think I wanna ever lose that. It's a really good thing. Okay, I'm gonna level up to 20 and then I'm gonna drink the potion of experience. Um, the earlier in the game you are, the more impactful a potion of experience is. As you progress through the game, for some reason it gives less experience. I have no idea why that is. Should I? I'm going to do it because I've been finding a good chunk of enchanted armor, so it compensates for the ring of protection. And now I have a ring of intelligence plus 6 intelligence for a little bit of extra spell power. Yes, we like extra spell power. Also, I have 2 enhancers. Ooh, that ring. If it didn't have the -2 intelligence, it would be a pretty good ring because it has See Invisible. So double willpower and See Invisible, two properties that I really like, that I could replace this ring with. But the minus intelligence is a deal breaker. We are using intelligence a bit too much. Um, Poison resistance for later. I mean, hopefully I don't need to come back and buy that, but at least I have it accessible. It's not like I'm gonna have to go through SOT without poison resistance. Anyone who has ever done SOT without poison resistance knows how horrible that is. Like, because, and this is something that's true for pretty much every part of Crawl beyond the early game. Um, you will encounter a bunch of bands of enemies. Like, for example, here, Marjorie. Did I fry Marjorie or did Marjorie blink away? Oh, I did just completely trivialize Marjorie. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, you will find bands of enemies like that, but the weak enemies are often not that much of a concern. You have to worry about like the strong enemies. In the case of SOT, that would be the employed Draconians. The employed Draconians and the high level dragons like golden dragons, shadow dragons. Those are the things that are concerning. If you don't have poison resistance, every green Draconian, employed or not, becomes a very powerful enemy. Very capable of killing you enemy. And given how common they are, that's not a position that you ever want to be in. It's very bad. Oof, that dealt substantial amounts of damage, like surprisingly large amounts of damage. An Arcanist. That's the one that, like an execution, or like not an executioner. What is it called? An annihilator. That's what I was thinking of. I don't see Crystal Spear here or Bombard, so we don't care. Yeah, there are 3 spells that I want: Crystal Spear, Bombard, and MCC. Any other spell, I don't care. Not on this character. Okay, we're at the point in the game where I'm starting to think I should put Magnavolt on the quiver, given the large amount of mana that I have now, plus the reality that I'm fighting bands pretty much every time. It's Magnavolt time. Beautiful. And I'm capable. Globes of Parrying. It shields you if your last action was a melee attack. The shielding is half as effective if your offhand is occupied by an item other than a weapon. What do you mean other than a weapon? Can you dual wield on all species now? Or do you mean it's for two-handers? Yeah, that's what I meant. Hello, ball packet. You're hearing new spells. You are hearing new spells. Magnavolt is it's not so new. It has like a year on the game. Envelops a target in a thin layer of magnetically charged metal fragments, then unleashes a powerful surge of electricity that arcs unerringly towards every visible target coated in these fragments, firing an additional beam at each target thus marked. Magnetized creatures are additionally unable to evade attacks and will be revealed if invisible. And why can't you cast it on invisible enemies? What do you mean by that? If they die while still coated, they will leave behind a short-lived cloud of electrified metal that will continue to serve as a lightning rod for this spell. Very good. Yep. Very good spell. Capable of deleting bands with very small investment. Plus 3 head of the Chimera with 4 intelligence. That's certainly better than the Hood of the Assassin. The detection effect is good, but I like the intelligence and I like that it's more enchanted. Goodbye, Hood of the Assassin. Hood of the Assassin plus Maze of Variability would be funny. I'm actually gonna carry them both. Trophies. Oh! So now skeletons inflict doom. Yeah, look at that. Doom 9%. Scary. You don't want that to stack up. Yeah, I'm glad that we're at the point in the game where I can spam Magnavolt, where I can put it on a quiver. You don't apply Doom, do you? No, you don't. Hurl Torchlight. What does that do? Gout of Umbral Torchlight, which deals irresistible damage to living, demonic, and holy beings. The Torchlight will also briefly empower any friendly undead caught in its blast and is harmless to those who worship Jerederem Null. Living, demonic, and holy beings. So if you are like, do you have the spell on that? No. Okay, so it turns out that if you're playing like a ghoul or something like that, or a mummy, then Death Knights are not as scary as they would be for other species. That's nice. Guardian Spirit is completely worthless to my character. And for most characters, not for every character, but it is so rare to have a character that wants Guardian Spirit, or at least those are the kind of characters that I don't tend to play. There we go. The magic of Magnavolt. Oh, those 2 bands of Beastmasters. And more things, in fact. Okay. Well, yeah, you don't stand a chance against what I have. Chain Lightning's at 45. What's Crystal Spear looking like? 4. Okay. Okay, it's time to go get Crystal Spear and do Elf. Get my loot. Crawling Flesh Cages. A modern breakthrough in arcane experimentation, this mobile prison cell weaponizes the living fragments of once escaped ugly things, extending the reach of their tendrils to trash multiple foes at once from a distance. Resistant to electricity. I'm glad that I did this. Attack. They used to be very ugly things. Very ugly thing rework. Attack, Tentacle 24, Random Ugly Thing, Damage, Max 45, Clips from afar. Clips from afar? Okay. But it is resistant to electricity. How am I killing that? I guess we're gonna have to rely on good old Stun Arrow. There's so many of them. I'm not liking this. Can I... Oh, you can LRD them. Do they have good armor class? Yes, so we shouldn't. Like, we can LRD them, but we probably shouldn't. But it's direct there, LRD. Hmm. Okay, these guys are a little bit concerning. They hit kinda hard. Okay, but my orb is getting some work done here. It's giving me back a lot of mana. All right, scary. And yeah, Arcanists are the one that scorn the cowardice of other magicians who hide from their foes rather than simply blasting them out of existence. Yeah, definitely. Arcanists. I am of the school of the Arcanists, definitely. Mm. Yeah, we have gotten to the point in the game where we're fine. I like the rework of skeletons into Draugr. They're substantially scarier. Now, would I like them if my first encounter with them was as a melee character instead of as a mage? That's a good question. I don't know. These things are immune to electricity, aren't they? Well, they're resistant. That is annoying and quite inconvenient, in fact. I don't know if I can deal with war gargoyles. I just need to get a couple of good rolls, I suppose. Alright. Yeah, Construct Bands would be scary if I didn't have that Earth Magic that I started the game with. Alright, Bolts 4 time. Are we going to do Bolts 5? Probably not. Caravan. I want that. I guess I'm just spamming Magna Bolt. Yep. Often that is the correct thing to do. What can I say? I want Caravan. Okay, MCC! MCC, I'm so happy. But I'll buy it after the Caravan because we shouldn't just spend money right now. Also Mystic Blast. I guess I'll put that on the wish list as well. Read Magic Mapping. Is this a Caravan? Yes, it is. Okay. We're so close. Okay, let's see what we get here. So far, I'm not convinced. Gloves of Hurling and Infusion. Cloak of Air. Of Air! It enhances your air magic. Worthy of note is that I already have 2 enhancers. I don't think I want 3 enhancers. Or rather, I mean, I guess I do want 3 enhancers, but I don't think it is that important for me to have 3 enhancers. Oh, Krya's Mailcoat. I wish I could wear body armor. That item is pretty decent. It's not that heavy. It's decently protective with base armor rating of 6, but it's +7, and it also doubles your potion heal, and it gives you cold resistance. It would be pretty neat. But unfortunately, I cannot equip it. Okay, Crystal Spear for 413. Crystal. Yeah, if I search for Spear, I'm gonna get a bunch of stuff that I don't want. Okay, it's on elf for 340. so for less. What else do we have here? Mystic Blast for 229. Oh, if that's cheaper, I should probably pick that up. And that's it. Okay, yeah. I'll buy this. How much money do I need for Crystal Spear? $340. And what else do we want to buy? MCC. Okay, 340 and 460 would be 800. So as long as I don't go below 800, we should be fine. I was making the calculations because I feel like buying these potions of haste and mana. They're kind of pricey. Yeah, if I buy them all, I go down to 900. I have 4 potions of mana. And what about potions of haste? I have 1. So clearly the potions of haste are more important than the potions of mana. I'm gonna buy all the potions of haste. And that leaves me with enough money to get out and buy Crystal Spear and MCC, which maybe I should do immediately. How's MCC looking? 3%. So, yeah. Okay, spell slots. 19 spell slots. I have enough. I have enough. That was my concern, but yeah, I haven't gotten a lot of spells since I trained spellcasting with that manual spellcasting. This has been a good run. Like, not good in the sense of I'm an unkillable tank and I'm going through the game in 3 hours, but good in the sense that I've gotten some really, really strong stuff for my character in the form of spells and manuals and gear 2. Yeah, it's a strong mage. No, it's not a strong melee character. It's a strong mage. I guess we can put it like that. All right, pretty good bazaar. Let me go buy those things. Yeah, and it's time to enact my terrible, horrifying revenge on Elf 3 for making me use 3 scrolls of blinking. Oh, it was a shapeshifter, that golden eye that I saw earlier. Alright, should we learn Clyde? No, we shouldn't learn Clyde immediately. It's not like it's gonna away. It's not like it's gonna go away. What we should learn is Crystal Spear, which I got, and should be somewhere around here. Okay. There we go. So we got MCC and Crystal Spear. We have what it takes to beat anything in the game now with MCC and Crystal Spear and Magna Bolt. I want to add Clyde as well because, like, I mean, I'm already here, right? So let's turn these things on. Let's turn this on as well. We're gonna need like 21 spell casting to have enough spell levels to learn Chain Lightning. Okay, and now we go and deal with Baisushen. Yeah, unfortunately for you, Baisushen, I happen to have gotten some arcane magic that you have the counter for. Okay. Yeah, sure. In that case, I'm gonna do something less fun. Magna Bolt. And then follow that up with a little bit of Crystal Spear. 1, 2, 3, 4. Push me away from the stairs. Really scary. Fortunately, I have melee, and my melee drains magic, so we're fine. Okay. Magna Bolt. And 1 Magna Bolt was all that it took. Okay. Magna Bolt, and again, and again, and again. Yeah, I think we are way better equipped to deal with this now than we were when I originally was here. Good ring spotted. Good ring spotted. That allows me to take off my cloak or like my scarf of resistance and put on the cloak of cold resistance for more armor class without losing fire resistance or willpower. That is big. It's not huge, but it is big, and I like it. Also, I like how I had 19 intelligence not too long ago, and now I have 29 intelligence because I did find the gear that ended up giving me 10 intelligence. It was just across two items instead of one item. Um, I'm not. I don't have any mana, and those guys have a lot of range on me, so I would rather, reposition a little bit. I don't want to take that because it's gonna put me in hollow blades, and I'm gonna have a bad time. Okay, we kill the Annihilator. We kill the Death Mage, and the Death Mage drops its incredible ring for me to equip. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of these and these. And these. I'll carry around one protection ring. I would like to be hopeful for me to eventually go back to it. Oh, 8 strength and 3 intelligence. Man, why couldn't it be 8 intelligence and 3 strength? I would be so happy with an 8 intelligence ring, but we cannot have nice things. What is that? Scale mail. Scale mail. Who cares about that? Yeah, they hit so hard. Master Archers 26 and 26. Um, Cold Staff. Boo! Who needs that? Give me a Staff of Air. Staff of Air, come on, Staff of Air. Throat Cutter. We don't care about that. What do we have here? Amulet of Wild Shape. Oh, that's the one that enhances um, your shape shifting, but we're not using that. We don't need that. Manual of Mazes, a bit too late. 6 strength! Why couldn't it be intelligence? What's up with all this strength gear? The game's telling me something here. The game's telling me, oh, you should have gone for something that scales with strength instead of going for intelligence. Can you believe that this character started with skill in short blades? I was going to go for Swords Dexterity, but the game just decided to shower me with strength gear, with good strength gear. I mean, it's too late. It's too late to pivot, but if well, I mean, most of the strength gear I got was here actually. 6 strength, 8 strength, that's 14 strength alone. And another ring of strength. But it's 2 rings, so I wouldn't have been able to use this. But anyway, 14 strength and 2 rings. 2 rings with other good properties on top of the incredible strength. Yeah, would have been nice. Why couldn't it be intelligence? Come on. Oh man. Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're fine. Let's go do more bolts. Oh, wait. Cloak of Cold Resistance. It's in bolts 1. I'm glad that I just dropped it. Let's put it on. And let's read Scroll of Enchant Armor. Now my Cloak of Cold Resistance is +2 and I have 20 armor class. And I have Fire and Cold Resistance. It's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good. I just wish all that strength gear was intelligence gear instead, but we can still hope that as the game progresses I find more intelligence gear. Do I still have coffee left? I think I have a little bit. Yep, just sweeping the floor with everyone with Magnabolt. Um, I have not commented on it, but I am starting to think that the increase in intelligence is quite tangible for the purposes of the amounts of spells that I need to cast to kill things. Yep. Ooh, Cloak of Willpower. Time to brave that trope? Soon. Very soon. I hope I don't regret that. That would hit me. Wait a second, what am I doing? I have Crystal Spear. Just cast Crystal Spear at those things without any evasion. I hope they never make a construct with high evasion that would break that dogma of constructs don't have evasion. Intelligence, because we're using that. Why do I have minus move? What gave me minus move? Does the Beastmaster have... Oh, yeah, the Whirling Bolus hits you but does no damage. The bolus wraps around you and binds you in place. Okay. Now, the concerning part about the Reapers is that they are only going to spawn when I'm low HP and alone. So if I'm trying to disengage from like a dangerous spot, the Reapers are gonna come in to kill me. There will be multiple, and they're immune to damage from afar. So the only way to deal with them is to be within melee range, and I mean I have Crystal Spear. I should be fine. Really should be fine. I have Crystal Spear and I have Magna Bolt. I shouldn't be so concerned. Bane of Mortality for 0.7 experience level. Wait a second. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I have the Bane. The first Justicar's Armory. I'm starting to be disappointed. Ooh, Holy Elijah Tank. We're gonna pick that up. Ooh, boy, yes. But the thing is that Amulet of Alchemy. Let's see. Also allows them to struct small amounts of magical energy from any potion they drink. So, from any potion they drink. It's for Yes, okay, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I was thinking, oh, but I want to get back mana when I tap, but it's not a property given by the amulet. Yeah, I would rather have regen, resistance to corrosion. Okay, that buckler is good, certified good, but I don't know if it's better than what I have. We don't care about that. We most certainly do not care about that. Why is it all strength gear when it could be, intelligence gear? So much strength gear. Jeez, I'm so sad. Well, that was underwhelming, but fortunately for me, I have a potion of experience. So we're gonna see if the potion of experience completely trivializes the Bane. I hope it does. I certainly hope it does. My spellcasting levels and stuff is quite high, yeah. Yeah, sure. Okay, what's up with my Bane? Nope. Nope. It's still there. When alone and injured, Reapers sometimes come to claim you. Ah, come on. It doesn't work when you drink a potion of experience. What's the point of potions of experience then? Hmm. Unfortunately, my coffee is done. Um, are you sure you want to leave the strobe? Yep. I did get a pretty good amulet from it, so it's not like I am terribly sad or like I feel scammed or robbed or anything. No, I got a pretty good amulet. Um, that ring is fine, but it's not that fine. Um, all right, so let's go do depths. A little bit of depths. We should be okay. I would like to believe that I have what it takes to do depths. We could also do slime for my third rune. Oh, these are cyan, so they're resistant to electricity. Yeah, I was wondering why they were not dying from the Magna Bolt. I wish Magna Bolt dealt some physical damage. Hmm. Hmm. How did we get rid of the Spark Was last time? I guess it's magnetized, so a single crystal spear should get the job done. Okay, didn't. It very much didn't. Now I'm a little bit low on mana in front of things that are very scary. For some reason, golden dragons have resistance to electricity. When I wear golden dragon scales, I don't get resistance to electricity. I only get these resistances, right? These resistances. Fire, cold, and poison, but I don't get resistance to electricity, so I feel scammed. Ooh, I'm about to. Am I going to be immediately affected by the bane? Well, your reapers sometimes come to claim you 0.5. I really thought I was gonna be able to trivialize that with a potion of experience, and I find it pretty strange that it didn't work. I feel like it should have. Not gonna lie, I feel like it should have. $65 in one turn from one enemy. The Spriggan Berserker. Okay, it's this one. This one is the one that almost died. Jeez. What do you mean you don't have enough mana to? Oh, it hit me with anti-magic. Oh boy. Whew, what an inconvenient position to be in. Chain lightning is at 19. I'm just gazing at the chain lightning because I'm so close to it, and it would destroy all these enemies in a way that our Magnavolt is not capable of doing because it doesn't ignore resistance, and I was getting hit by things that are resistant. It's a repeat of the elf situation from earlier. Um, Literal repeat. Okay, we're fine. We're close to the exit, actually. Might as well. Are vampire knights resistant to electricity? They aren't. Are caustic strikes resistant to electricity? They aren't. Yeah, I think that might just be the correct thing to do. Like, is X resistant to electricity? No, then it just gets deleted. If it is, we're in trouble. But we're not in terrible trouble. Ooh, boy. Okay, that's big. Poison resistance. I don't have that. If I put it on, I don't have cold resistance. Can I sacrifice 6 intelligence for cold resistance? And maybe that's gonna be the plan for Sot. I have LRD for these. Bunch of ice. Oh, very ugly things are still a thing. Cobalt Flesh Crafter. Skull Masked Kobold, its body mutated by forbidden magics. It conducts vile experiments in the service of demonic powers, formulating ever more terrible monstrosities as vessels for devilish minds. And it has a band of very ugly things. Tentacle, Bolt of Flesh. Fires a barrage of conjured flesh which will briefly remain as a pile on the ground at the end of its path. That sounds funny. Uh, what do you mean by pile on the ground? Is it a damaging pile on the ground or a pile on the ground that blocks your way out? Awaken Flesh. Oh, Awaken Flesh. That's supposed to combo. Channels a surge of chaotic energy through each pile of flesh in the caster's sight, animating them into empowered large abominations and dealing chaos damage to any foes unfortunate enough to be standing next to them. Alright, cool stuff. And it already placed down a pile of flesh minion. Um, okay. Is this summoned? Minion fast, strong, regenerating. This monster has been created by magic and is temporary. Killing it yields no experience or items and it is incapable of using stars. Reanimation combo, does it work on corpses? Nah, I don't think it works on corpses. I think it only works on these piles of flesh that, yeah, on the piles of flesh that this guy places down with Vault of Flesh. Alright, funny stuff. But I have what it takes to deal with most of these things. I'm afraid of the Berserkers, not gonna lie. The Berserkers are really spooky. Um, so yeah, if I see a Berserker, I'm gonna step away from it. I'm gonna play it safe. A Titan. Titans are well known for being highly resistant to electricity, given that they throw a bunch of it themselves. Okay, cannot Magna Bolt monsters that are immune to electricity or highly resistant to it, unfortunately, so we just go the Iron Shot route. Um, okay, it's immune. It's immune, it's not resistant, but it is magnetized, and that's what I needed. Crystal Spear. Do Titans come with bands of elementals, or did I just wander into a vault comprised of enemies that I have a hard time dealing with? Yeah, I like how the game says threat minor. Yeah, threat minor, but I cannot kill them without spamming a stun arrow. Yeah, stun arrow is the thing that I need to deal with these guys. They're still messing me up pretty bad. You should have guessed that's how Kroll does things. It's not magic or nethack with their crazy combos. Yep. And besides, that's a spell for monsters only. I don't think players get access to something like that. Or do they? Wasn't there was a spell once upon a time. You should be able to search for the school and give you all the spells of the school. But there was a spell that made tentacled monstrosities. Um, a necromancy spell once upon a time that made piles of flesh turn into tentacle monstrosities. Needless to say, that doesn't exist anymore. This guy's resistant to electricity. Yeah, pretty much everything he's resistant to electricity. Ooh, the late game's gonna be painful because Sod's gonna have a lot of that as well. Some monsters casually being resistant to electricity are really painful. Okay. Oh boy, okay. Death has come for you. Two Reapers come into view. Do not forget that these Reapers are immune to range damage. Damage immune at range. How hard do they hit? 50 plus 25. Freeze. Yikes. Yikes. Unrewarding damage immune at range. Be glad they are in Frankenstein flesh golems that heal from electricity. Yeah, I'm glad. Do they fly? They fly now. They fly now. That's not what I wanted to do. I don't know why I pressed that combination of keys. This is somewhat concerning. Oh, but they're not resistant to electricity. But I have no mana. That is the main concern here. Oh boy, this is really bad. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. I take it they're not temporary. I take it they're durably summoned. Yeah, it doesn't even say they're summoned. They're just here to stay. Well, almost dead. Chain Lightning is still at 16. Yeah, it's gonna take a while. How's my success rate looking? Or like my spell levels, not my success rate. 7. Okay. I'm gonna set it to 19 because at 19 I'll have enough to learn Chain Lightning and then we can focus on getting it castable. Because Chain Lightning would be a really good spell to deal with these guys. That machine unit range. Who thought that was a good idea? I don't like walking into this. I really don't like walking into this. Okay, I have regen, so it's not that bad. I'm not like gonna die. Okay, these Reapers are really funny. And we're about to get rid of the Bane, but even one proc of the Bane was really scary. I thought I was gonna die, but now we're fine. Now we're fine. I'm ready to take on the Reapers. Funnily enough, I would like to be surrounded by them. Magna Bolt, Magna Bolt, Magna Bolt, Magna Bolt. Okay, yep. Are ancient lichos resistant to electricity? They are. Ooh, but nothing is resistant to Crystal Spear. So if I cannot Magna Bolt these enemies, I can Crystal Spear them at least. Doom 7. Ah. What are you talking about? The Storm Dragon Draugr hits you from afar with a +0 trident? What? Oh. Its resentment of the living has slowly twisted its remains into a monstrous form capable of brandishing weapons and spreading terrible curses. Okay, so despite its appearance, it can open doors, and despite its appearance, it can wield weapons. I think that's pretty janky, not gonna lie. 26. Okay. Concerning. It doesn't go away with waiting. You need to gain experience. What about the Skeletal Warriors? Do they inflict doom? Okay, they don't. I mean, they're already crazy strong for the point in the game they spawn in. So it would be even more ridiculous if they could give doom. I have 31 doom. Very scary. Ouch. 50? What exactly do you mean by 50 damage? It got a really good roll. Okay, this looks like a super nasty bolt. I think I'm better off not doing that now. Maybe later. Not having resistance to negative is gonna hurt in Sot. If it's already hurting here, it's gonna be every bit as bad in Sot. That thing is immune to electricity. So we're gonna have to airstrike and do other things. It's so funny because I am going through a loop of it's so over and we are so back. Um, because whenever I encounter an enemy that is immune to electricity, it really does feel like it's over. Um, but then I encounter these guys that are not resistant to electricity, and it feels like we're so back. And it feels like how could I ever be in such a position where I'm at risk of death if I'm so strong and like pressing the quiver is completely destroying everything that is to destroy. Um, and then I encounter something that my quiver spell doesn't do anything against, and then I die, or well, not die, but like I am put in very inconvenient and awkward positions. Yeah, that's been happening a lot. Like this Spark Wasp is the perfect example of that. Oh man. Oh, I don't even have enough mana, but I can. What? So do you mean 82? You're not supposed to be able to deal 82. Okay, no, they do a good chunk of base damage, even without the electricity. I still feel super scammed. What do you mean 82? Do you remember like 3 turns ago when I was at full HP? Jeez. Ooh, this is the kind of thing that makes me not play Crawl as often as I used to. I feel it in my chest. Oh. Why are you not dying? You have no armor class. Oh, you have 2 pips of armor class somehow. I disagree. I don't feel like you should have that much armor class, given that you are an insect. Alright. Just whacked it to death. Danger. Now the question is, no, I don't have the range. I feel like Crystal Spear would kill it, but I don't have the range. I'm really low on HP too. Yeah. Oh. When alone and injured Reapers sometimes come to claim you. If I go around the corner, will Reapers appear? Because I'm alone and injured if I go around the corner. The question too is, will this guy be able to kill me? 3 dice of 24. 72. Okay, no, even on a max damage roll, it cannot kill me because I have the resistance. So the max damage that it can deal is 36 and I have 38. So if I press the Magna Bolt button again, yeah, we're fine. We're fine. We're not fine. That's a little bit scary. It's better than Reapers, anyway. Just gonna wait for it to get closer. 1 paralysis. It's a good thing that I hoarded all these charges of paralysis. And then I'm gonna whack it to gain back my mana. And then we Crystal Spirit. And now we hope that there is no Reapers. Just in case I'm gonna walk to the stairs. This is a stone, isn't it? It's metal. Oh no, okay, we cannot do that. Ouch, ouch. The reality of the late game Draconian is that everything hurts a lot. The Bane of Mortality upon you is lifted. Okay, we're free! Yay! It was fine. It was worth it because now the bad thing about the trove is gone, but I retained the good stuff, and I did get some good stuff from the trove, so it was worth it. So much enchant armor, and I am incapable of enchanting armor. Well, not quite, but like body armor. No body armor for a Draconian, unfortunately. Um, okay. Oof. Do you still mutate? You have a melee attack that reduces willpower. Doom Bolt! Is Malmutate gone from the game? Because these guys used to have Malmutate. Bro, Bolt of Accursed Malice which induces Doom. Vitrify, Slow and Dig. So no more Malmutate. Oh, you must have resistance to electricity. Yeah, no wonder I'm not killing you. I love that mutation that reduces the cost of my crystal spears. They're definitely not spammable, but you can get in a couple more than you would otherwise. Oh, covered in magnetic does 70% to hit. Interesting. A wormhole. This used to be in Sod. Bite 44. Blink together with the defender. Sojourning Bolt. You may teleport victims after a short delay. Oh, cool. Bolt of Doom. McGordon music starts playing. Yeah. Unfortunately, in this case, you are the one that is doomed, not the enemies. How's this looking? 12. Okay. Oh man, I'm so close to Chain Lightning. And Chain Lightning is the spell. It's that spell. If I get that, I am probably going to beat the game. Unless Sot has some horrifying enemies that have immunity from damage from afar. That's such a nasty thing to add to the game. It's such a counter to ranged characters. Um, like for melee characters, it's probably not a problem, but for ranged characters, it's horrendous. Frostbound Tome, I should be fine. Do you hit hard? 20 cold damage, max 60. I have the resistance. Okay, I would like to heal back to full and regain my juice. Okay. Helion. We're fine. Not scary. Iron Dragon immune to electricity. I have to. Oh, it's not. It's not even resistant. That's weird. I have no idea why that is the case, given that we have seen constructs that are like immune. Other dragons are resistant, but an Iron Dragon is not even resistant. Pretty strange. My LRD is such trash. We have a Cloak of Willpower, but no, we need two sources. And I have one ring that provides me two sources. So unless a Cloak of Willpower gives two sources of willpower, which it doesn't do anything for me. I should conduct electricity very well, actually. Yeah, but I mean, other monsters enter a single letter to display list monsters. Yeah, 9. Let's say War Gargoyle. Solid steel statue and imbued with vicious strength, speed, and weaponized breath. And it is resistant to electricity. You can see it right there. Um, Iron golems are immune to electricity altogether. So for some reason, the Iron Golem is immune to electricity, but the Iron Dragon is not even resistant. What about BB? BB has to be immune. Oh, it's resistant. One of Stoneborn, formed untold aeons ago with supreme command over rock. Her people shelter deep within the living earth, so whatever has forced BB into the oppressive openness of the dungeon must be there indeed. Uh-huh. BB is so scary. I hope I don't have to fight BB in this playthrough. I think I stand a good chance with Crystal Spear, but still BB is pretty scary. Oh, we're about to get... well, we can learn it now. Yeah, we're about to get 19 spellcasting. And I have Chain Lightning. And now Depth 4. So what happens if I press the Chain Lightning button? Which shouldn't be G. It should be L, capital L. Fun happens. I love that Chain Lightning kills things that are immune to electricity. Magnavolt should do something along those lines. Not quite the same, but it should do something along those lines. Okay, now I'm not concerned about Sot anymore. I feel like I have exactly what it takes to deal with it. Yep. But that is the effect that a level 9 should have on your character, on your build. Getting a level 9 is quite an ordeal. For most species, it is a level or like a game-wide endeavor, something that you dedicate yourself to for a bunch of the game. You don't start a game with the explicit objective to get a level 9, but if you train your skills for spell power, you will eventually get the skill for a level 9. People say that it's not worth it to train spell schools for spell power, and I agree. Beyond the point of getting your spell castable, training magic for spell power is not gonna work very well. At that point, you're better off equipping enhancers or getting more intelligence, or doing both, as it has been the case for this character. 3 dice of 99. 74% spell power. I have 2 enhancers, 31 intelligence, and not enough skill. But still, that's some pretty good spell power. I have had debuffs with less spell power than that, but that's because the debuffs were not equipping 2 enhancers. Yeah, this Staff of Air has been huge. Okay, and then we Crystal Spear. And then we Chain Lightning. Sometimes it doesn't go beyond 1 monster. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe the monsters are too separated and that's why it doesn't do that. Because it's not a matter of spell power. I have enough. More than most characters have. Let me read Chain Lightning actually. The further it travels, the less damage it does. Secondary arcs have limited range and do little damage to the caster. The spell bypasses half of defender's armor and resistance to electricity. Oh, I'm having a Draconian moment. I'm having a green Draconian moment. Yeah, if you don't have the resistance, you're gonna have a bad time with green Draconians. And guess who doesn't have the resistance? Yes, I think I'm gonna go do slime. I have resistance to corrosion already. We can drop that ring of resistance to corrosion that I was carrying. Yeah, what is giving me the... Oh, the amulet, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go do slime. And after that, I think that will be it for today, and we can come back tomorrow and finish this character. 5 hours. Yeah, we can come back tomorrow and finish this character, and we will totally win it. I believe that this character has what it takes to win. But for now, let's do slime. Mountain Shell. Oh yeah, I remember this thing. It's still pretty scary. Oh, it just got one shot um by Magnavolt. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now let's see what horrifying things we have in. Oh, I never finished Layer 5. I guess let's do that as well. All right. Everybody cross your fingers so that there's no new monsters here. No new monsters, please. Especially no new monsters with the damage immunity at range property. Ah! 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 Mutagenic gaze. Shining Eyes got reworked into being less terrible. I see. I wonder what caused the developers to rework mutations. Maybe the introduction of Doom. I should not be out exploring this place. By the way, it's force of habit. Oh, Crystal Spear didn't kill it. That's strange. Oh wow, it stacks up really fast, I suppose. $42. Dissolution. Spooky. Reasonably spooky. At least I didn't go down into being surrounded by dissolution. Um, which could have happened if I had picked the wrong set of stairs. Oh, these give Giga Poison, I see. Giga Poison. Those have been in the game for a while, but they were introduced when I was already on my way out, so I haven't played a lot of games with formless jellyfish in them, let alone games with formless jellyfish in them where I don't have poison resistance. This might be the first one that fits that criteria, in fact. Void Ooze. This is Drain Magic, Engulf, Immune to Magic, High Evasion, whatever. Royal Jelly comes into view. Alright, Royal Jelly, time to get sapped. The rock slimes are resistant. They're not immune. They're still resisting my chain lightning quite well. Alright. Now, this character is strong enough that there was no need to reposition or to prepare for the Royal Jelly fight, which I like. I like it when I have characters like that. Late game spellcasters tend to be that way. This is a fight that, as a melee character, would have been somewhat problematic, but as a mage, it's so easy because you are just better equipped to deal with what the Royal Jelly throws at you. Hmm. I had to sneeze there. Uh, OBS should have a button that just mutes the microphone until you run out of mana. I mean, I'm not running out of mana. I'm a worshipper of Behemoth, and I have good ways to gain back mana on top of that. Yeah, I can tap to gain back mana. Such a character is not really gonna run out of mana. It's gonna run out of HP before it runs out of mana, in fact. Para? What do you mean, para? We don't want to be paralyzed here. That would be really scary. The loot is very evenly dispersed throughout the entire level in this variation. Yep. And we are done here. Did I get the thing or did it get removed from the game? Show gems. Yes. Did I not get this gem? I guess not. Maybe it got nerfed because I used to get it every time. Alright. That's pretty good. So now, as I said earlier, I think that's gonna be it for me today. We are gonna come back tomorrow and finish this. I have 3 rooms already, right? So I can just go do Sutton win the game. But I also kind of want to do Bolts 5. We can do that tomorrow. It's been a long time since I've done Bolts 5. But I believe that this character, with its level 9 magic, and its incredible copious amounts of mana regeneration. I have so many potions of mana. I have 6. I have Behemoth. I have Tap to regain mana. I have an Amulet of Regen. I have decent resistances. And I have the potential for wonderful, incredible loot in Bolt 5. I think it's worth it to do it. Also, it gives copious amounts of experience. My Chain Lightning is already at 4%. It's getting to the point where I can put it on the quiver. Genuinely, it's getting to the point where I can put it on the quiver and just mash it and win the game. So yeah, we're in a really good spot. We're in a really solid spot. But I'm starting to get hungry, and I also have to take a shower and go get the food sorted out. So yeah, more crawl tomorrow around the same time as today. Maybe I come back and stream later at night, something else. But if you want to see crawl, I think that mornings with crawl and coffee are gonna be the way to go for me. Yep. See you around. Have a nice rest of your night. Bye bye. Bye bye.